Kathryn Ghion has this special report.
The Monongalia County Sheriff's Department says that being alert is perhaps the most important precaution you can take while using Uber or Lyft. Both ride-sharing services agree that passenger safety is a top priority and are cooperating fully with the investigation.
They're both good services. I know there's a lot of people that use them in Monongalia County. It's just that you just need to be careful.
For Sheriff Perry Palmer, being careful starts with being in the right frame of mind when getting into an Uber or Lyft.
Don't drink excessively. I know this is a key point. Do not drink where you're not familiar with your surroundings. And always, if you are going to do that, go in pairs, go in groups, so you're not by yourself.
That includes making sure you are getting into the right car as displayed on the cell phone app. The Monongalia County Sheriff's Department arrested one Uber driver and one Lyft driver, each on charges of second-degree sexual assault, after 2 women made reports. Sheriff Palmer says the department is doing everything it can to investigate, but preventing these incidents starts with passengers.
Knowing when to quit, when you've had enough, that you're familiar with what's going on around you, that you're not so impaired that you don't remember anything. And that's usually when bad things happen.
We reached out to both Uber and Lyft, which are assisting law enforcement with the investigation. Lyft said in part, quote, "We take allegations of this nature very seriously, and the driver has been deactivated," end quote. Uber has also deactivated its driver in question. We asked both companies about their screening processes, which appear similar. They involve checking driving records and criminal backgrounds, including running the person's name through a sex offender registry. To see more of the responses from Uber and Lyft, visit WBOY-TV.com. In Morgantown, I'm Kathryn Ghion for 12 News.
And in the video, you'll see smoke, some sparks, and hear a buzzing. But WVU says this particular incident is rare. Now, they know that the PRT does have occasional problems and needs an update. In fact, that's already in the works.
We just saw a bunch of sparks and it just kind of stopped, and the PRT guy just kind of told us to wait it out, but then it started happening again and it got a lot worse to the point where smoke was eventually just kind of filling up the entire cabin.
WVU says the incident these students witnessed was similar to a short circuit, which caused the smoke.
So there's kind of 3 prongs that reach out and actually engage this power rail. In this instance, something either hit something or it just broke on its own, and a piece fell and crossed 2 of the phases of the power.
WVU says staff then made contact with the students, asking them to stay in the car for their safety.
And so if they would open up the door, which sometimes they do, or in some cases kick out the back window, then it shuts the entire system down. We have to go recover that car, and it could be a 30-minute outage versus 2 minutes.
After power was shut off, the students were helped from the car, which was then removed from the rail.
That kind of stuff doesn't really scare me. It's just, I know that the PRT breaks down, and the guy who was with me said it's never been that bad, but it is what it is, so I still have to get to my classes some way or another.
Upgrades to the PRT to prevent issues like this are already underway, working on the train control system the last 2 summers.
So it's all the electronics, the software, things within the cars, communications on the track, and things like that. So that's kind of the next major phase.
Eventually, the PRT will have new cars and an improved track.
Right now, for a given year, we do about 2.2 million trips. So a lot of ridership, very few instances. The PRT is extremely safe to ride.
WVU says all these upgrades could take several years, and that in the meantime, the cars and track will continue to undergo routine daily maintenance. In Morgantown, I'm Kathryn Ghion for 12 News. When it's complete, Westridge will be 1,000 acres of mixed-use business and retail development. It's been under construction since 2015, and as you'll see when you drive along I-79, it's taken a massive change of the landscape that includes moving millions of cubic yards of earth.
Right now we've impacted probably 650 acres between exits 152 and 155.
And they're not done changing the landscape just yet. By the end of the year, the West Ridge project will move more than 10.5 million cubic yards of earth.
I think the biggest thing is just the size and scale of the development, and the fact that it has to occur in phases, and so we have to do a little bit move a utility and then do another portion.
So just how much has it taken to transform the landscape? The ground moved could fill the rotunda of the United States Capitol more than 200 times.
To put that in perspective, that would fill the WVU Coliseum 27 times, if that helps. And we still have a few more million yards of dirt to move in the coming years. But I think you'll start to see vertical construction start in the spring of 18.
Westridge has already brought new jobs to the area with the input and cooperation of several county entities. That includes Monongalia County Commission, which recently approved the issuance of excise tax bonds for the project. The specific businesses coming to the development haven't been named, but the people involved agree that it will benefit the county.
Better connectivity, better access for the residents of Mon County. It's going to be definitely a better experience, quality of life, shopping, recreational opportunities. There's the ability to connect some things that are happening in the western side of the county to Morgantown, and I think it'll really be a great thing for the community.
In Morgantown, I'm Kathryn Ghion for 12 News.
Last September, 9 West Virginia University students were caught cheating on an exam using smartwatches.
And while WVU is handling the discipline, it brings up an important lesson for other students about technology.
All academic institutions want to uphold standards and rigor and honesty.
Including WVU. 9 students charged with academic dishonesty at the end of last semester await hearings from the Student Conduct Board.
It's a very serious offense, and it can stay with you. And I do believe that we have to make sure that students understand the importance of achieving and completing their goals and doing it in an honest manner so that they really are improving their knowledge, their training, and their skills.
Not only can the offense stay with you, but the information can spread online. In this case, it was previously deleted emails that helped identify these students.
Once it hits the internet, it's there forever. You can't track it down, you can't get it off.
An important reminder for students or anyone who uses technology for work or personal use. Emails, photos, anything you send here on the computer, on your phone, or any other electronic device can never be fully deleted.
Cell phones now, people put their whole life story on a cell phone. And just because you push delete, it doesn't go away. There's a footprint there, and our folks are specifically trained and have the equipment to go back and retrieve that information.
No student conduct policies have changed, but the university is looking at other options for testing.
They would go to a testing center where we can ensure that the person taking the test is the person who should be taking the test, and we can also then monitor with electronic means or with persons that are trained.
WVU emphasizes that this group of students is only a very small population and says there are other options for students who need help.
Taking the easy way out when you come up against a roadblock is not the way to learn. It's not the way to progress.
The WVU Cancer Institute Mary Babb Randolph Cancer Center has seen a 27% increase in clinic visits since last year.
And to better serve patients, it's expanding to a larger space, adding doctors and making cancer care more accessible across the state.
Unfortunately, West Virginia ranks as one of the highest states with cancer incidence. It also ranks as one of the highest states with mortality.
A number the WVU Cancer Institute wants to see decrease. One of the ways to address that problem is making care accessible to patients close to home, not only in Morgantown, but regionally in Elkins, Martinsburg, Parkersburg, Oakland, Fairmont, and 2 additional centers coming soon.
Cancer is not an insignificant thing for patients. It takes a lot of resources, not only physical but emotional, and that's always best served when you have your friends and family and your traditional support system around you.
The Mary Babb Randolph Cancer Center will physically expand, adding exam rooms, infusion rooms, and more. To fill the space, it's also doubling its physician force over the next 3 years and bringing in more than 100 new members of its clinical staff.
Part of this expansion is being able to keep some of our own at home. I'm a product of that. But it's also actually letting everybody else know that we are world class and we are getting better and better. And so we want a combination of those that are are from here, because there's something unique about those that are from here, but we also want people to come in to our state to just see how wonderful it is.
When the expansion is complete, twice as many people can seek cancer care within the state. And physicians say it's about more than just patient care. It's about their survivorship.
What is it about their treatment of cancer that is not just their treatment of cancer? What are some of the other factors that go into it? Their nutritional needs, their psychologic needs, their family's needs. All of that's part of cancer care.